Hey everyone, it's Erin from Lady B Collective and welcome to my YouTube channel. So today's topic is going to be about finding acceptance and letting go of things that have served us for a really long time, but no longer serve us anymore. Need a deep breath for that one because this is so hard to do. So I think as we get older, it's important for us and it makes us really feel like we're doing okay with ourselves and in life when we have things pretty settled, right? So whether it be family, children, career, friendships, family, activities, all those little aspects of life, right? How I looked at it and used to look at it too is like that's the well-roundedness of life. You want to have all of that. Um, and they're all very important in their own way. And so I think we spend a lot of time cultivating these relationships and careers and friendships and this life that we want for ourselves. But life changes and circumstances change and we change and experiences we go through change us. And I think we all hit different points and many different times in our lives where our inner peace and our happiness are just not priority. And the thing is that we say that they are because, especially as women, we put on that smile and we say we're happy with everything going on and the kids are great and the hubby's wonderful and we're remodeling our home and the job is fantastic. And then we walk in our cars and go to McDonald's, go through the drive-thru, eat a burger and cry. Or maybe go home and cry in the shower. Or maybe just not being able to sleep at night, just not feeling fulfilled. And I want to preface this with life is hard and anything you've worked hard towards needs a lot of attention and a lot of follow through. And by that, I mean, you're going to have relationship issues and friendship issues and career issues. That is just a given. And when those arise, you have to be able to communicate with that, right? Because we don't all grow at the same time. So we have to be willing to communicate, put in the effort into everything like we would say our careers or stuff that we really love. We have to do that. So as long as we're doing that, that's really, really important because I don't want this video to come across like every time if there's an issue, like you should just quit your job or you should just get rid of that friend. That's not how it is. However, throughout life, we've all heard this before, like people and things are not supposed to always be there and they're not always going to be there the whole time. And that for me at least is really hard, that change, because I want to hold on to these people. I want to hold on to things that have been in my life for a really, really long time. And trying to navigate through which ones can be worked on and which ones need to just be gone, stop beating a dead horse is very, very difficult. So lately I've had to make that kind of decisions with people and more so with schooling. Schooling was something I love. It is always something I love. I've been in school since I was like 3. I love learning. I love higher education. But as I was continuing to do it, I realized that it was just the crutch. It just made me feel better. It was no longer enjoyable or something that I was going to maybe implement into my life already. It just was like, well, I put in all this time. And it really, really, I struggled with that. And then I thought about this is the same thing with like relationships or friendships. People don't want to let go of things because they put in so much time. But that time is not wasted. During that time, you are learning about yourself. It is getting you even closer to where you are supposed to be. And actually, but it's just hard. It's like, no. In my mind, I'm like, no, it's just a waste of time. What was I doing? Oh my gosh. And like, that's just the kind of responses you get when you make big life changes, whether you're moving, whether you're getting in a relationship, out of a relationship, whether you're letting go of a friendship for a really long time, whether you're changing careers. And what I'd like to say is that at the end of the day, it's your peace and your happiness and your loved ones as well. That's an extension of that, right? With your family. And I just think the older I got, it wasn't more so checking off all these boxes, because in society, people want to be around the people that they can brag about, people with these high honors and accomplishments. But the reality is, for me, I want to be around people and things and passions that make me feel good, that make me feel safe and less anxiety and at peace. That's what's important, right? So everyone has those different things that are important to them. But sometimes as life keeps going, you'll find yourself like something's almost tugging at your insides, right? Like something is just not right. It's not as fulfilling anymore. It's not what once was the biggest thing to you and fulfilling might have changed. That's the transitions as you get older. And I just want to encourage you to take some time and think about those things, because we hold on to so many things because they defined us. Like school defined me. Like it just made me feel better. It made me feel more educated and smart. But I'm just as educated and smart, you know? And I think that's a struggle that we don't talk about enough, is that we literally hold on to things because we're so afraid of what others are going to think. We're so afraid of not being that woman that we're supposed to be, that stereotypical woman, or that we're not going to be able to be okay alone. And I don't mean alone as in not with anybody. I mean just alone as an individual, that we have our individual needs that are met, that we go after, that we take care of ourselves to the highest ability, not just some self-care on the weekends, but really, truly deep self-care that goes far into our traumas and our beliefs and our experiences and just some of the issues that we carry from generations down, and to really go in and be okay, especially anybody, but especially women. I think when we can do that, we can feel this sense of pride and acceptance of ourselves for just who we are. You know, we don't have to love ourselves every day, but accepting who we are, not who everyone wanted us to be, not who we can keep up with the Joneses, right? Not what looks good, but what we feel. And I've noticed, at least with myself, when I've taken the chances or I've been more of me, some people don't like it. Some people love it. Some people are like, whatever. But the thing is it brings me happiness and it brings me inner peace. And I think working from the inside out, you can just see that. You can see more of the happiness. You can see more of the reality. And that just is something for me that started to work for me. But I had to go a long way, because I didn't realize that we sometimes are just always acting, right? It's like the next role we're supposed to play. Like, we're supposed to get through high school or college, if that is, and get a career and get married and have children and get to the next level of our career and have the next baby. And I think that when that works for you, and that's just an example, like you can see it within you that it's hard. No matter what road you pick, it's difficult. So let me just say that. But the difficulty is different because you love it. You can see it in people's eyes when they want that. You can see it in other women's eyes when they just love what they do. And it doesn't matter what it is, but it's just about getting to the point where we're less judgmental of what we do, and we put the priorities not on what people do and how we can brag about them or this or that, which is great. Accomplishment is great. I love that. I'm never going to say that I'm not competitive to a certain point or want to accomplish enough or I'm not a go-getter. But also, I've noticed that I've pivoted a little bit to who I want to be around and what qualities I look for first, as opposed to before, where it was more kind of like a horse and pony show. And I feel like a lot of us get caught up in that. But 2020 kind of showed us what's really, really important. So I think I just, again, wanted to challenge everyone to look at the aspects of their life that maybe you think define you, but they really don't. And maybe it's time to let go. And I think that that's a hard process, but I think you know that inside. I think that we sometimes have the answers, but our mind doesn't catch up with our gut as much, and we don't really know what we're going to do without it. And not knowing is so scary, but I think that it allows for us to kind of find what we're doing. And this can happen at any age. This can happen at 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, and even more. You can change things all the time. And even in this world right now, it's the perfect example of there's so much unknown. 2020 was so unknown, and people changed drastically, whether they wanted to or were forced to. And I think it just showed that we're just changing. And I think that's in a positive way. So I think that if that's something that interests you, that you really want to make yourself the most happy, or you really want to try to go into something else that you think might make you happy, or whatever the case may be, I think that just taking some time to think about it, taking some time too to just also not think about it and see how things are going, and see where you're gravitating towards, see what's pulling you, see where you want to talk the most about, see what really angers you the most and what you want to do about it. Those are just little keys that I would suggest on helping you find more passion and more substance for the life to build upon the life you already have, or to make the changes that you want to make. So that's kind of it for this Saturday. I just kind of wanted to throw it out there because the whole school thing has been like the last few weeks, and I just haven't talked about it. And I promised myself I would talk more about things with me as well. And I thought, I know I'm going through it this year. I think a lot of other people, especially since 2020 happened, are just taking those chances. And so I figured that some people would want to hear this and know that they're not alone in this, and that only you know what's right for you, and that it's a difficult process, but I think sticking with it is beneficial, and it'll take you to where you want to be. And having some patience, because I always have to remind myself this, but we are where we're supposed to be, even when it's not where we want to be and where we know we're going to be. It's where we need to be now. And a lot of times when you look back, you can see that, but it's not until you look back that you can see that. So just being present with it, and kind of, again, working hard, put yourself out there, try things, but also stop and let things come to you. That's my biggest thing that I'm trying to be, besides more intentional, is that let things come to me. I don't always have to go to them. And that's been really helpful as well. So I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, give it a like. If you didn't, you can dislike it, but let me know what you want to hear about. Subscribe. And in the meantime, go to ladybeecollective.com and you can check out other videos, other podcasts, blogs. I'm now on Vizio, which I'm really excited about. I just found out about it. I saw somebody was doing it, so I was like, this is awesome for just more one-on-one. Like, I've always wanted to do more one-on-ones, and I just couldn't figure out a way to do it. Like, I tried subscriptions, which I do have as well if you look at Patreon, but I wanted to do like personalized videos for people. Like, I love doing that, whether it's to inspire them, help them answer questions. That's just something I'm really excited about. So I just did a video, check that out as well. I know it's weird because I'm asking you to check out multiple videos, but you can basically go to ladybeecollective.com and see all of them. I'm gonna have Vizio put on them soon, but it's www.vizio, wisio.com/Erin Friedlieb, ERIN, and then FRIEDLIEB. So it's simple, and you can go on there and see what I have to offer. And that's about it with my promoting all my stuff. Oh, and Instagram and my social media. I do stories all the time. And I'd love to do more stories, more questions, more of everything. So that kind of coincides. Okay, you just have to let it go. This is my second video, and it never ends. So for all you dog lovers, you will understand that. So remember to have a good weekend, and that you're worthy and you're enough and you're capable as you are. So I will talk to you next weekend, and have a great one. Bye.